Okay, so in this next tab, we want to start looking at filtering and sorting. So I've added some more fictitious data. So we had the 9 names before, and what I've done is just repeated the 9 names several times and put some fake scores down. And I just want to show you how to filter results and how to sort results, and the different filtering methods we can use. So to do that, first of all, we want to select this whole table, and the easiest way to do it is if you look in the top left hand corner, there's a small arrow that points between the first row and the first column. So if I click on that, it highlights the whole table for me, the whole sheet. And on the data tab, or on the data ribbon, so usually you're probably on home, you click on data and you'll find that there's a filter button there. So if we click on that, what it's now done is it's created this drop down arrow and this drop down menu on each column. Now notice it's only done it for the columns that have headings, so it's recognized this data as a table. Okay, so how do we use filtering? And filtering can be used in quite a few ways. Let's say, for example, and I don't know if you noticed this, what I did was I put all students in alphabetical order. So actually, there's only going to be one student that begins with each letter of the alphabet. But let's say, if I want to filter by a particular student, so I only see those students, I could say, I only want to see, let's say, Barry. So I'm going to click on him. Oh, I unselected the rest, by the way. So I clicked on where it says select all, unselect the rest, just click on the one that I'm looking for, and then click on OK. Okay, so it's filtered the rest out and left me with just the one name I'm looking for. The other thing I could have done actually was I could have typed in the name I was looking for. So let's say, for example, Darren. It's unselected the rest for me, and if I click on OK, now I've only just got the results for Darren. Okay. What I could also do is I could say, I could hover over text filters and I could say name begins with, for example, or ends with, or contains. So let's say begins with, and I'm going to say EST. So there we are. So begins with EST, is found the results for Esteban. And again, just clear those results. Okay. Now what we could do is we could start filtering by scores. So I could say now that this works similarly with numbers. So let's say I wanted to see all the scores that were above a certain number. So for example, I could say number filters, and I could say all scores greater than or greater than equal to, let's say, 8. So all scores greater than 8, not including 8 obviously. There we are, it's filtered the rest out. Okay, so another thing I could have done was I could have said just filter me results from 2 tests. So let's say I wanted results from just tests 3 and 4, and I could narrow that down further. So now I've selected items from one column, but I want to narrow down further. So I can also make selections from a second column. So test 3 and 4, and all students that agree achieve scores of more than 10. So there we are, it's filtered it down further. And as you can see, the columns that are filtered have these funnel icons above them. So I've filtered from these two here. Let's try one other thing. We could number them now in order of score. So let's say if I was to say highest to lowest, I could say sort this from, actually largest to smallest. And it's also good at working out which students, you could also sort by alphabetical order. So for example, A to Z or Z to A. Okay, let's clear these. So let's clear that and clear this one as well. Okay, and let's say we had in the previous video we looked at conditional formatting for students that were below a certain grade. Let's say, for example, we pick out a couple of students here that have E's, and let's color them in. And let's say the whole thing will color coordinated. So let's say go to home, and for argument's sake, select the E's actually. Select, I can see 1, 2, there's a U there as well, let's take that as well. And from the top, that's about all I can see. Okay, and let's just color them red. Now, I could say, for example, and let's assume that these were all colored and they all had various colors. I could say, let's select all students with a particular color. So if I wanted to focus my lesson on particular students that were not achieving, for example, or I wanted to stretch students that were doing really well, I could say select by color, and the colors that would have existed in the table would have been there. So if I had different colors, there would have been more. I'm just going to say select by color. So, and it's sorted by them. So now I've got these students that I could say, for example, didn't do so well in the previous test, and I could focus my lesson on them, so for targeting. And really that's about it for sorting.